Hey, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to the Guided Trip Fly Fishing Podcast. Thanks for tuning in. This week, we sit down with a good buddy of mine, Ryan McVay, for episode 2 of the podcast. And we talk about some issues and some experiences we've had, and we just kind of sit down, have a couple beers, and bullshit a little bit. So I hope you guys enjoy it. And also want to let you guys know I did get the email set up. So emails are now open. It's theguidedtrip@gmail.com. You're welcome to send those emails in and let us know what you think about it and if you have any suggestions for topics. So please enjoy. And just as we did in the first podcast, we got Sam Pankratz and Ginny Hill. They're going to lead us into our episode 2. Thanks, guys. We can do the introduction later since we're not comfortable with it.
Yeah, just start fucking.
Yeah, let's just fucking... Dude, so, yeah, just talk. That's all I'm trying to do.
Just talk. Start talking.
My dad sent me the story on Facebook today. This dude is suing a landowner on the Arkansas over water rights because this guy has been harassing him over walking the river in front of his property. And basically he enters through public, like I was talking about, and then walks, all the way down and, navigable by law means you can navigate the entire bank to its entirety. Wow. And this dude is going to sue him. And they're going to, I think it's U.S.
Wait, so who's suing who here?
So the fisherman's going to sue the landowner.
Does the fisherman got money?
So here's the deal, dude.
This is the one we need.
Yeah, this is exactly it. So this is what I was talking about because I had this brought up, but... Basically, this guy, he has 2 lawyers. Let's see, I think one's from the University of Colorado or something like that. Here, I wrote a bunch of crap down.
We should start like a money-raising foundation for the...
Right?
Because, dude...
Just donations? It could cost a lot.
Right. Well, it's going to cost a lot. It's got a private property owner who probably has money.
Exactly.
And they're going to... I mean, this is going to go on for months and months and months.
Navigable by law is... Meaning, if it was navigated in the past by either fur traders, loggers, or commercially, before statehood, then it's navigable now.
Okay.
So the Arkansas is a navigable river by law.
Right.
The Gunnison is a navigable river by law. The Taylor is a navigable river by law. The East is a navigable river by law. And there's also, there's certain aspects too where it's like knee deep or deeper can be navigable as well to a certain extent.
Right.
Commercially, it's a little bit different. But so basically he's claiming, hey, this river is navigable by law and has been navigable by law since statehood or before statehood. So go fuck yourself.
So go fuck yourself, private property owner.
Well, this dude, so also in 2015, this guy, I read all about it this morning, but this guy he pleaded guilty to menacing the public for shooting a gun at fishermen walking in front of his house.
The private property owner?
The private property owner.
Well, now we got even better, stronger case because this guy's a lunatic.
I mean, he quotes in this thing, he goes, "The riverbed is mine. I own it." He's claiming he owns the river.
Wrong.
Exactly. Completely wrong.
But we have to win this court case.
Exactly.
We've been talking about this for years. This needs to happen.
And they bring it up in this. They go, it's going to be a firefight either way.
Right.
If we lose, it's going to be a firefight.
Yeah.
If we win, it's going to be a firefight.
Yeah, exactly.
No matter what happens, it could go either way, really.
Right, but I don't know if this is precedented yet in Colorado. I don't know if we've actually had a real court case go to court, right? And this has to go to federal court too, right?
Well, so let's see here. I think it's going to... I wrote it down here.
Because we need to win this one, man, to set the precedent,
Oh, definitely.
So...
It's at the top of this. Give me a sec.
I'm gonna send this guy. I'm gonna send this champion money. We need to start a foundation, dude. A fundraiser.
So the guy's name is Roger Hill, and he's suing this guy. What the hell is this guy's name? Mark Warsawa or something like that. But it says he's suing him in U.S. District Court, arguing the bottom of the river actually is public property. His lawyers point to a federal doctrine called navigability for title, which holds that if a waterway was used for commercial activity at the point of statehood, the state owns the stream bed and the public access, which means it's ours.
Right.
It's public. It's
right.
publicly accessible.
Exactly.
And yeah, I mean, this guy already has a case where he tried to shoot at people or around people or something. He didn't really describe it.
Right.
I'm sure we could look it up further, but didn't really describe it. But shooting at or around people, he was already convicted of that. You know, he's guilty of that.
Right. And he pled guilty.
Pled guilty.
Okay.
Yeah, I did that.
Yep.
Yeah, no problem. But I mean, the fact that he's look, I mean, right here it says, "I own the bottom of the river."
Right.
That's what the landowner said.
Right.
Whatever his name is. What is it? Warsaw.
Okay.
But there's cases throughout Colorado. I mean, this is on the Arkansas River. They talk about this is the Lake Fork of the Gunnison, the Taylor River. Let's see. I just found one about the Taylor.
So I guess I had the incorrect preconceived idea that I thought that the flowing water was public and the land within it, rocks, bottom, were private.
No,
and I thought that's what discerned navigable and non-navigable.
No, it's supposed to be. I mean, technically, like Montana has taken it on, Utah has started taking it on, New Mexico, it's high water mark, basically.
Right, exactly.
You can go to high water mark. That's how it's supposed to be. That's how the federal government sees it.
Okay.
Is high water mark.
Right.
As a state, I mean, including in this book, you know, public rights on rivers in Colorado. I mean, it states, you know, you can do a lot more than you think you can.
Dude, that's
is what people think in Colorado, and I want to get copies of this book. I mean, it has examples of all the river disputes in Colorado. There's like 3, I think, on the Taylor, the Lake Fork, where they push some people out. I mean,
what's this book called?
Public Rights on Rivers in Colorado by the National Organization for Rivers.
Nice. I need to read that.
Let's see
and it's funny too.
Copyright 2014. So
Okay.
this wasn't long ago.
No.
I mean, 4 years ago, 3 years ago.
Well, I think it's interesting that the way I thought the first like big court case would go would be private property owners suing fishermen.
That's what I would
Which
think.
is kind of interesting. This is
this guy quotes at the bottom. You know, he goes, "I'm 76. You know, somebody's got to do it.
Right.
I might as well." And you know, his lawyers we're all sitting there going too, "Oh Jesus, man! Like, don't blow this."
Right.
You know, because
we need this one.
If he loses, then we're screwed. You know, it's going to take a lot of our water away.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, another guy brings up, you know, how much back pay is the government going to have to pay these, you know, landowners,
right? Where
they think they own all this property,
right?
And they don't,
right?
You know, who's going to pay them for that?
Exactly.
I don't know. I mean, it's pretty crazy.
There's more to it than just we can be on your river.
Yeah. And I mean, most people, he goes, "I don't care if people float and fish through. I don't care about," he goes, I care when people are walking in front of my property.
Right.
And it's like, I get it,
right.
But just because you buy a house doesn't mean you own the sidewalk in the street.
Exactly right.
You know, and you don't own that.
No.
Oh, it's ridiculous. But I mean, here's the Arkansas River, what they say about it. If one adds up all of the commercial rafting customers on the different section of the Arkansas River from Leadville to Canyon City, the total is more customers than on any river in the nation,
right.
And the river was used for log and lumber drives in the past. Therefore, it is legally navigable for Commerce Clause purposes under federal law, so it is subject to the navigational easement, which includes public rights to scout and portage rapids and walk along the bed and banks to fish along the full navigable length of the river, not just in places where the bed and banks are public land. So, I mean...
Yeah, I mean, that's
it right there.
Blank, period.
Yeah, exactly. That is it right there. I mean, unbelievable.
Right.
I hope, I'd like to see what happens in the future.
Yeah, I mean...
And how this case goes.
Right. I mean, I don't know how many months or years this is going to get, go into litigation.
I mean, it could just keep going and going and going for however long,
right.
you know?
That's where you need money. That's why you have to have money to do this, because... Dude, they'll wrap you up for millions of dollars just in litigation alone, before you even see a judge, before you even see a jury.
What else does this thing says?
That's why we need to start a fundraiser for this guy because he might.
That's
he
not
might
a bad idea.
He might need some money to go the distance. You know,
it'd be interesting to contact anybody involved and go, hey, we're willing to set up donations and help you out and get groups involved.
Exactly.
So I know Backcountry Hunters and Anglers just posted they actually posted this article on their site.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think a couple months back, they sent out a magazine talking about river rights throughout the western United States.
Right.
And just what kind of river rights you had. And Colorado was definitely a big one where they're going, yeah, you don't want to do anything in Colorado.
Right. The private property owners have all the power.
Oh, yeah. There's a guy on the Blue that stands out there and holds a gun and waits for people to come by.
Right.
Waits for him to drop anchor or touch a rock. Like, what are you going to do? You're going to shoot these people and kill them?
Yeah. Yeah, what are you going to do? You're going to murder someone?
Yeah, you're going to... There's a case in Oregon where a dude got shot off his raft.
That's right. That's what you're saying.
Some guy goes, he's not allowed to float here. It's not navigable by law. And he's going through my private property, and he shot and killed him.
Jesus Christ, didn't break into your house.
Yeah. So, dude, the guy's not hurting you.
No.
You know? What are you thinking?
Yeah, he's not even fishing within the boundaries of the law. He's actually floating through. He's actually not waiting.
He's not even touching bottom.
To.
Yeah,
right.
he's just floating the river.
Floating through, and you blast him
and kill him.
Jesus Christ.
And I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, wrong person, they're gonna fire back.
Mm-hmm.
If this Warsaw guy or whatever his name is, fires a gun at somebody, you're gonna go,
Yeah,
I'm not
strapped.
taking that. Yeah, I'm shooting back, man.
Right.
You got lucky the first time, I'm gonna pop you on.
Freaking
and I wonder what favor they're gonna
Arkansas.
look in and be like, well, this guy put some warning shots over a couple fishermen in 2015, so
right.
I guess he deserved it. It's like, what the hell, man?
Well, it's interesting too, and I think it bodes well for the public fishermen that this guy's somewhat of a unstable type character.
Oh, definitely.
It'll definitely hurt his character in the court of law.
Oh, it's not gonna help.
So that
at all.
bodes well for us, but I'd be curious to see what this dude's worth. How much money is he?
Yeah, who knows? I mean, it'd be a different story if you were, trying to sue Wilder on the Taylor.
Right.
That's another big ranch.
Right. Or the Cockrells. Or,
yeah.
That's going to be
you're
going to probably lose.
You'd be screwed.
You're going to need
money.
money.
That's what happens, with these rafting companies.
Right.
The case on the Taylor, what was it in, I can't remember if it was 2010 or 11 or something like that, but where, Scenic was involved and Wilder was trying to sue a local rafting company in Gunnison for floating through their property.
Right.
And Wilder's just a big. It used to be cattle ranch until it's a Dallas guy who bought all this land and he's selling these lots for over $1 million just for the lot.
Yeah, I know that.
And I mean,
it's ridiculous.
Then they went, no, nobody can float through here. This is ours.
This is ours now.
But they had to settle on so Scenic can only float through at a certain time of day. I think there's 2 short windows they're allowed to float through the Wilder property.
It's
and that's their agreement.
And they're the ones that put all the gnarly, jagged things under the bridges and stuff too.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
That's fucking
And
ridiculous.
Harmel's did it too, and Harmel's is making money off of it. Harmel's is charging $100 a rod.
No way.
To get in there and fish if you don't own property or you aren't a guest.
They upped it to $100?
$100 a rod.
100's new 60, huh? Same thing with ski passes.
Right. 100. They're making money off of river that they don't even own.
Yeah, that's absurd.
So I mean, if our buddy Sullivan was doing it right and he walked in at public land, he could walk all the way down to Harmel's, like he was talking about, and fish Harmel's. Which you can.
Right. I mean,
it's navigable.
Yeah.
Why not?
I mean,
technically, you could walk up from 5 Mile on the Taylor. I'm not suggesting anybody should do this. That'd be a terrible idea.
Yeah,
don't do this, but technically you could. And that's the problem. If this case
by law you can, but I still wouldn't.
By law, you definitely can, according to the law. But I mean, if this case goes through about this guy in the Arkansas, and he wins,
right? That's going to change the game for everyone.
We're golden. We can go fish anything.
Exactly.
We can go walk any piece of river, as long as it's navigable by law.
Right.
And we enter through public land. Is what I always thought it was. As long as you enter through public land, you can navigate the entire bank and river to its entirety.
Right. Huh. I mean, that'd be insane.
I'm not sure if on a boat is different with anchoring. It shouldn't be.
Right.
You should be able to anchor wherever you want.
If you can wade there, you
exactly.
can certainly anchor there.
Yeah.
Because you put in at public.
And I mean, think about
Can't get out
certain
and take a
sections.
Well, can you get out and take a piss?
You should be able to.
Right.
I don't know.
I'm always afraid to.
Yeah, no, I'd just pee off the boat if I had to. Like, I mean, clients try and jump out all the time. No, you don't want to get out of here. Yeah, let's wait a minute.
Yeah, because I mean, you got to poop. You know,
oh, you're toast.
You got to wait for some public.
Yeah, like I got a trash bag. Well, I mean, you have the. What are they? Oh, the wag bags. I carry wag bags on the boat, but I'm not gonna watch somebody poop on my boat. I'm not gonna allow that.
Just dangle on in there.
Yeah, you're gonna have to aquaduce this one, man. Just dangle off the back of the boat and do what you gotta do. It's terrible.
Yeah.
But I mean, through Moncrief's, they have signs that say no stopping.
Right.
Through our property.
Right.
Enjoy the fishing. But if this law is true, why can't we stop?
Right. You should be able to stop. I mean, because they even get a little perturbed if you eddy out.
If you eddy out.
Technically, that's completely legal.
Oh, I had a guy run me down on the river, screaming and yelling at me. I was eddied out in a big eddy on the Gunnison where, I mean, it's huge. Everybody eddies there.
Right.
And I was just sitting in the eddy, not touching land, just, letting the river do what it wants. And this guy comes running down the bank and he's screaming and yelling. I just wave at him, hey, how's it going? And you can't be there. You need to float through. What are you doing? And it's like, what are you talking about, man?
Right.
I'm not doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
And I finally stood up. I mean, he stood there for 15 minutes while I was re-rigging. I think I had my sister and my brother-in-law on the boat.
Oh, at least you didn't have like a paid client.
I stood up and if it was a paid client, I would have kind of just moved on.
You wouldn't have,
but I mean, I stood up finally. This guy stood there for 15 minutes just yelling at us. I stood up and I go, hey, you're harassing me. I go, call the cops. Right. Better yet, I'll call them for you. Right. And I'll let them know you're harassing me. And this guy just retreated off into the woods to wherever he was. And it was like, what? Like, is that all you have to do with your day?
Right. Like, dude, how bored are you?
Yeah, I mean, what are you doing?
He walked into the woods and put a bead on you.
I know for damn sure. Yeah, right? No, for damn sure he doesn't own the property.
Right.
Because it was Moncrief's property.
Right. And the Moncriefs are cool about all of it.
Yeah.
Well, I guess, they obviously don't want you to anchor out. I don't know. Do they get mad about eddying out?
Sometimes. I had a lady come out. I mean, I eddied right in front of one of their big houses one time. Moncriefs are a wealthy family from Texas who own a large piece of property.
Yeah, aren't they homies with the bushes and all that?
Yeah, stuff? I mean, it's all hearsay, but yeah, homies with the bushes. What I heard is that, one of the Moncrief's daughters got married and the Bush family came out for the wedding.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I don't know if they're friends with him or family. Maybe they do blow together. I don't know. I mean, who knows? But I eddied out in in front of one of their big houses, and I mean, they got some big houses out there, but they have a huge eddy. And I
know the eddy.
I got these two knucklehead clients on the boat, and I'm sitting there re-rigging, I'm spinning around in this eddy, trying to make sure I don't touch land. And this lady comes out, and this guy taps me on the shoulder. He goes, "Hey, this lady's staring at us with her phone, and I think she's taking pictures." And I look back, and I go, "Well, everybody wave, I guess." And we all waved, and it's like, we're not doing anything wrong.
Did she wave back?
No, she did not.
I figured she did.
Yeah, she definitely did not wave back. She was pretty pissed off. And, the client in the back wanted to moon her, and I said, that's a terrible
Please
idea.
Don't
do that. You will ruin
everything. That is not good for me.
Yeah, that's not going to help anything for us. But, I mean, it was interesting.
So he pulled his dick out.
Yeah, so instead.
And waved his dick at her.
Instead.
Can you do that on public property?
Maybe. I mean, depends on where you're at.
What does the book say about waving your wiener around?
How far away from school do you have to be to do that on a river on public property? No, beats me, man. We'll have to go to the book on that one. I don't know if there's a section on that or how you look that up, really. But luckily that didn't happen.
Right. So nothing came of that?
No, the cops didn't show up, nothing.
Okay.
And we had a guy above that on the river and another piece of property where it's a big eddy and right above the golf course, right below Psychedelic Falls. Right. And there's a huge eddy with a big run, and, everybody fishes.
Yeah.
I mean, the landowners fish it. And here's the thing, too. if you are in a property with a bunch of different people, if you have, let's say, I mean, these people are all condos along the river.
Yeah, that property
Are they allowed to walk all the way up the condos?
I don't know.
Does the other person own that?
Right.
You know, are they all just homies? They're like, oh yeah, I'll allow you to walk all the way down wherever you want.
Right.
You know, or do they have to stay in their own little area?
Those guys aren't even. I mean, I guess they're condos. They own those, right? You can't rent those. Right?
I think you can. I mean, nowadays, I'm sure you can
right,
rent them.
Right, because what if you rent one? Like,
yeah, what are you allowed to do?
Yeah, because it's not technically your property.
Luke lives not even on the river, but in that condominium area.
Oh,
and
Martin
he's like,
does?
yeah, he goes, oh, I have property to that. How do you have access?
Right. You don't own that property.
Yeah, you don't own anything. What do you mean?
I wonder,
you can go fish that.
Yeah, see, you can see how convoluted.
Oh yeah,
and
definitely. But anyways, I mean, we all eddy up in this big eddy and fish this massive run, and I mean, it's awesome fishing. And earlier, I think it was maybe 2 years ago, we were all eddying up, fishing it hard, and I mean, maybe 2 boats at a time, not many.
Right.
But this guy is coming out and screaming and yelling, and we're just sitting there going, what, dude? What's the problem?
What do you want from
me? What do you want? And finally, a guide called the cops on him, said he was harassing them. So the cops and Parks and Wildlife showed up at his house and issued him a ticket for harassment. Said, better not do this again.
Nice.
These people are doing nothing wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
They're floating.
But it's like, you know, you talk to them about navigable river by law, they're like, oh, never heard of that.
Yeah, and they don't know.
No, and they'll be the first ones to issue a trespass ticket.
Well, it turns out the book says, but that doesn't mean that's what. That's not what they enforce.
No,
they don't know the laws.
No,
most
I've
of them
talked
don't.
to state officials.
Right.
I've talked to federal officials that don't know.
Right.
They've never heard of navigable by law in their life.
Right.
What's that mean?
Most fishermen know.
Do I have to explain this to you? You are. Federal government. You're the federal government.
Like, how am I explaining this to you?
Yeah, you're an official.
Didn't you have to read a book?
You write me tickets.
Yeah.
You know, like
now
you write people tickets for trespassing.
Tickets you're writing.
Yeah, and you don't even know the law.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would venture to say, and like I said, I'm not saying anybody should go do this, but if you were issued a ticket by, let's say, a cop, a city of Gunnison cop showed up and goes, hey, bud, you're trespassing.
Right.
And you're doing everything by the books. You're doing everything right that you think is right. And they want to issue you a ticket. And if you don't pay that ticket, or if you don't accept that ticket, if you don't sign for that ticket, what are they going to do? Arrest you?
Right. Well, you got to go to court.
I'm happy to.
Right. That's the whole thing. You got to go to court.
Because everything I've read and heard of, once it goes to court, they throw it out. They go, this is nonsense.
Right. I mean, if they don't want to, if they can't
most people
be
don't go to court. They just pay the ticket. They're like, oh man, I got a $400 trespass ticket.
Right.
Should pay that.
Well, the only time you'd hear me going to battle for it, I'll pay the ticket. But if you take my fishing rights away for 3 years, then what am I going to do? That's 3 years that I can't fish? That's ridiculous.
I got
to fight it.
That's insane.
I'd have
definitely.
no choice. I'd have
definitely
no choice.
Fight it.
That's why I'm afraid to even test the boundaries of what's legal and what's not, because if I lose my fishing license for 3 years in Colorado, dude, I'm going to be a bored motherfucker for a long time.
I'm definitely interested to see how this case pans out. And yeah, we should try and figure something out to help. If we can do donations or something.
Absolutely. And, you know, that being said, too, it's kind of a scary thing. Like, say the fisherman wins the court case, and then everybody gets to fish the Cockrell property all of a sudden. Like, I don't want that either, because, man, it's a great stretch of river for natural reproduction.
There's a long way from that property to public, though.
Right.
You know,
True.
I mean,
True.
You're going to have to go a long ways.
Would you do it if you knew it was legal?
Oh, hell yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a
I'd be in there first
fishery.
day this case, you know,
Dude.
Case closed. All right, I'm going in.
Dude, I'm right behind
I'd be right in there just, I mean, if I had to, I'd be all camoed out, stealthy, and just screw it. I'm going for it.
Wading with a ghillie suit.
Right? Just, oh, man, yeah, who knows?
Because, dude, and
how many hundreds of fishermen out here?
Yeah,
and how many people, you know, how many guides, how many fishermen know that property and go, oh man, this case just went through. This guy won. Let's go for it.
Right. But eventually, everyone will know.
Oh, it'll be all over the news.
You know how that goes.
It'll be everywhere.
We'll do that podcast later.
Yeah,
there are no more secrets.
Yeah, exactly.
And that secret wouldn't get kept very long.
Secrets are gone, and the fish no longer have anywhere to hide because the public is just killing them all,
raping them from all angles.
And the hard part too is what kind of regulations can you put on that?
Right. That's scary.
Because up from the Cockrell property is the CNR.
Right.
And that's only a quarter mile of catch and release, flies and lures only.
Exactly.
Down from that, what is it?
I mean, the Taylor's got horrible regulations.
Oh, it's nuts.
They need to enforce. They need to put way more.
Do they
regulations
enforce
in place.
anything?
Not really.
I mean, they come check your license.
The only time I've ever gotten checked for my license is at catch and release.
CNR.
I never get checked anywhere else.
Why?
Yeah,
they're worried about those fish that are just getting beat to crap all day.
Right? Who gives a shit about those fish?
They're worried about them.
Yeah, it's a freaking. Aquarium.
Yeah, you're worried about them. Yeah, I get it. They're fish. They're animals. But I mean, those fish get slaughtered all day.
Dude.
There's people foul hooking them nonstop.
Oh, absolutely.
And trying to.
Right. You see it all the time.
And it's like you're not worried about them foul hooking fish, but you're worried if they bought a $35 license. You're worried if I bought a $35 license.
Well, dude, they can't.
But I can go in there and just snag fish. I've never had anyone look and see if I carry power bait.
Right. No.
I wouldn't, but
no. Exactly.
Nobody's checked my pockets.
Well, you look too good to have power bait. That's the thing.
This guy looks the part, but I guarantee he doesn't have a license. I'm gonna get him.
I bet some dude in muck boots and jeans has been checked for power bait before.
Probably, and he's probably been caught.
They're profiling, man.
Yeah, they definitely. I get it. I do get that.
If you got a brand new pair of Sims waders, what are you fucking with power bait?
Who's gonna know? I carry gulp worms everywhere I go.
It doesn't mean I don't see people freaking yanking fish off reds during rainbow spawn.
Exactly. Or you have 20 college students standing in the middle of the river.
They're not snagging fish, but they got 2 footballs on. I mean, I've seen some flies the guys are fishing during the salmon run. It's absurd, man. Big ass gnarly hooks with a piece of yarn tied around it. I've seen them, dude. I mean, it's absurd. And they're like, I'm nymphing. So you're not fucking nymphing, dude.
Talk about the salmon up here a little bit. Talk about what we do up here, or what we have up here with the salmon. What are they?
Yeah, I mean, we're talking a version of sockeye salmon, kokanee. Who's that?
When in Rome.
Who's that? Who did that? Do we have to edit that out?
No, I don't think so. I'm not worried about it.
So they came to Colorado. Yeah, please, I'd love a beer. They came to Colorado from Alaska by way of Montana, from Flathead Lake, Flathead Lake in Montana, just over by Polson, Missoula, wherever that area is. But yeah, so they were instituted probably, what do you think? Wait, 20, 30 years ago?
You're the expert, man.
I mean, I don't know my dates. I need pen and paper to have all my dates dialed. But yeah, so introduced here basically just for sheer economic reasons. They do have a cool ecological byproduct is that they dump a ton of nutrients back into the water. They also feed a lot of people too.
With what? By them killing off or what?
Yeah, so basically salmon go upriver, they spawn, they die.
Yeah.
A lot of those fish go up to the Judy, where we spawn them and then give them to the public. But a ton of those fish don't make it. And,
yeah, definitely.
And they dump a huge amount of nutrients back into the water system.
Got it.
And fish eat them. I'm starting to hear people catching trout on flesh flies, which is really cool, just like Alaska. I haven't.
I've tried them.
Yeah, I've tried them too. I haven't had any luck.
Huh.
So I mean, we know that they're helping the nutrient system. Like they're dumping nutrients back into the Gunnison River and ultimately into Blue Mesa. So it's actually a really cool project that they put together. And as we know, I'm not a huge proponent for meddling, and we do meddle.
Yeah.
That's kind of our thing. We're humans. But salmon's kind of one of those really good ones that, they are technically an invasive species, but really low level.
Yeah.
Where they don't do any harm to the nutrients.
And I mean, think about how many people come out and pay money to fish for salmon.
Yeah, and that was the whole gimmick to start with. Is I mean, it's a massive economic boost to the CPW.
I mean, I do so many guided trips a year, August through October, or even into November.
Right.
Where it's like I strictly want to catch salmon.
Exactly.
Like, okay.
Right. Well,
sure. I guess.
And as a guide, when the salmon are running, it's amazing because you always run into weird afternoon lulls and stuff.
Oh yeah, and you're like,
fish.
Perfect. Let's go catch salmon.
Exactly.
I know
we got
where
a
to
lull,
find some salmon.
and you just keep people roped all.
Oh
day.
yeah, and you're like, okay, I got a lull from 1 to 2.
Right.
I'm gonna make sure I'm on a salmon hole from 1 to 2:30.
Exactly.
And you just plug and rope fish.
Yeah. Break out your 6-7 weight, put some trout beads on,
slinging some freaking weight.
Fish.
Definitely.
And they're a fun fight, man.
Oh, they are. I mean, on a 5 and 6 weight, yeah, it'll give you a run for after 2 or 3 of them, you're toast.
Yeah, I mean,
done.
I don't fish them on my 5 weight anymore. I'm afraid they're gonna just wear it out, dude.
No, it's 1 and 2x on the 6 weight.
I know, dude. They're trashing my 6 too.
Man, if I had a 7, yeah, it'd be easier. And that's the crazy part, you know, where you're sitting there on a trout stream going, man, I wish I had a 7 weight. Mm-hmm. You know what?
Exactly right.
What do you mean?
Yeah,
dude, I took these chicks out up to the hatchery, Roy and Judy Hatchery, and
you're telling me
we plugged salmon all day, and these chicks are never fly fishing in their life, and we're just roping salmon on deep nymph rigs, you know. And I mean, these girls couldn't get enough of it. Right. They were just smitten, going bonkers over it. One of them could barely speak English.
Were they Asian?
No, like what? One of them, I don't know how they met, but this girl came out here to work at the ski resort in the summer and was about to leave for the fall to go back to school.
Oh, okay.
And she was like Slovakian or something like that. And she'd be like, salmon? Salmon? Yeah, we're going to catch salmon. Salmon?
Dude,
like, she did not understand what was going on. And finally we hooked one. Every time she'd hook one, she'd just go, oh, and it would just start running like crazy. And we'd just, pink, it'd pop out. And it'd be like, yeah, we'll get the next one. And I mean, it was.
And she didn't care. Tugs of drugs. She's having a blast.
She had no idea.
And she kind of figured them out, right?
Oh,
you just saw her like kind of light up.
Once she figured out what she was doing, and it was game over for her.
And she was having a blast.
Yeah, I mean, it's great for people to come out and fish, especially people who've never fished in their life, you know. And you can go, here's a fly rod, here's what you do, and we'll catch some fish. And it'll be probably the hardest fighting fish you'll catch on a fly rod for a long time.
Exactly right.
You know?
Exactly.
Some people for their entire lives. Yeah. They come out here just to catch salmon and go, oh, this is the hardest fighting fish I've ever caught on a fly rod.
I guess you do it probably about like I do. I go out, I probably do it twice a season. And I'm freaking over it. You know, you go catch.
I hate it.
45 fish in a day, and it's like you're sick of it.
When people are, I want to catch salmon today. I'd much rather catch trout, but I guess we can catch a few salmon. And they'll catch a few, and they'll be like, yeah, that was tough. Like, yeah, I told you. You know, I mean, it's the hard part is that if you aren't in the right spot where you're just plugging them all day, you know, and you have a pod that you're working, like the Salmon Hotel.
Right.
You know, that's a hard one to work because it's so deep and the currents are so strange that, I mean, you're dredging 12 feet.
Right, exactly.
And you have, 3 BBs on, 4 BBs on, and it's the toughest cast you can possibly make.
Yeah, it's a weird drift.
Oh, yeah. But once you figure it out, yeah, you can just knock them dead all day. Mm-hmm. But it takes people a long time to figure it out, and 30 minutes into them salmon fishing, they go, I'm over it. Right. And you're like, yeah, you were the one who wanted to go salmon fishing.
This was your idea.
And you wanted to take a float trip. If you wanted to go on a walkway salmon fishing, it'd be a lot different.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, because as you're floating down, there's only certain sections you can hit where the salmon are going to be. There may be 3, maybe 4 good holes you can go to where you're like, salmon are going to be here. And if somebody's in there, you're like, oh, well, gotta wait.
Well, that's
hey, do you want to keep fishing trout?
Dude, I mean, this year, people are going nuts with salmon. Oh. Dude, guardrail hole, I saw 9 cars, just Tetris in there. Yeah, like perfect Tetris pieces. Everyone just trying to get a chunk, dude. Everyone just trying to catch some salmon.
It's ridiculous.
And I should have looked in just to see what that looked like.
I mean, I'm sure it's just hooks flying everywhere.
Right. Well, we wanted to because, we're shooting some film. Like, we wanted to.
That's not good. Should have muted that.
I don't even know if my phone rings anymore.
I don't know.
I think mine's dead. But no, like if we, we're shooting film, it'd be cool. Like we're putting together we don't have a name for it yet. Our code is Kokanee Project.
Yeah.
But I'd love to go next season. Just take a drone or a boat with a nice camera on it, and float through there, and just film the shit show from Almont down.
It'd be unreal.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be hilarious.
Yeah, it'd be pretty cool to take a drone and go float or go just see and even see the fish in there. Right. And I mean, yeah, the shit show. I mean, the East River.
Right.
You go in the East River in September.
Dude.
You can't even go to the hatchery. I mean, you have to be at the hatchery at 6 a.m.
Oh, yeah.
to get a spot.
Right.
And if you're working, dude, you're like, oh man, this is gonna suck.
Yeah, because you can't get clients on the water till 9:30, 10.
They want to wake up and eat breakfast and hang out. And
they don't get it.
Oh no, they don't understand.
Which is fine.
Yeah, I get it. They're on vacation. Yeah, they're on vacation. I get it. And you do your best to get them where you need to be. But I mean, we had times in the parking lot this year. We almost got in a fist fight in the parking lot
Yeah,
on a guided trip, where some kids from Oklahoma, no offense to Oklahoma, they pay my bills.
Right, that's exactly.
But there's parked in the parking lot. We roll up, at 8:30, 9 o'clock with our clients, and this was the trip we had with the couple girls and their moms.
Right.
And 2 guides, and we're sitting there rigging up, getting ready, and these kids walk up. And they just start talking smack, and we're like, what is going on here? Like, oh, you guides think you can just show up and take over any hole and do this? We're like, what are you talking about, man? I have no idea what's going on. And this other guide, that I'm with looks over at him. He goes, hey, man, we're all just trying to make a living, like back off a little bit. And he goes, hey, what do you think we're doing? We're trying to make a living. He goes, dude, I'm looking at your license plate. You're from Oklahoma. You're not working today.
You're not born and raised Gunnison.
No, you're out here, like, we're trying to make some money and do our job, and you're out here, I get it. Everybody wants to fish. Everybody wants to be there. I understand that fully. And everybody has the right to fish.
Right.
I wouldn't have said a word to those kids if I didn't know.
Right.
I'd be like, hey, have a good day, guys. I hope you guys catch some fish.
Right.
If they're in my hole, I wouldn't walk up and be like, hey, what the hell are you doing in my hole, punk? You're from Oklahoma.
This is my money maker.
Yeah, exactly. Get out of here. I'm trying to make some money.
Go fish the ponds.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't do that.
No,
but I mean, the
not.
fact that they come up
right.
talking shit to people who work in this town, that make a living in this town. This is their life.
Where do you even get that sense of entitlement? Where does that even come from?
Yeah, where did that come from? I mean, who gave them that?
That's good parenting right there, man.
Dude, that's terrible.
You raised a bunch of spoiled, rotten
I mean,
children.
it's just, and that time of the year.
No offense, Oklahoma. I love you.
Like I said, you pay my bills. But, I mean, that time of the year, the guides are definitely a little crusty.
Right.
I've almost gotten in a fight with multiple guides towards the end of the year.
Well, didn't you say you saw other people almost getting in fights too, right?
Oh yeah, there's
scuffles.
a guide I will not name, but I mean I almost got into a fight with him, on the river, yelling at me. Once the day before, these kids almost fought us in the parking lot, or wanted to. I mean, these kids, I say fight, but
it's just
they're
talking
just
shit.
Talking shit.
Right.
And if it would have came down to it, I would have had my guide's back, but,
but
I didn't want to.
I don't want to get in a fist fight.
I don't want to get in a fist fight at 9 o'clock in the morning just to start my day.
You don't wake up
in the
just
park.
like, you know what?
I'm gonna beat the shit out of some fishermen from Oklahoma today.
I'm gonna fold the paddle. I'm gonna fold an oar over someone's head today.
You know what I like to do? I like to hit him in the back with it. I'm gonna break my fly rod over that guy's back.
Wake up plotting.
Oh no, I mean nobody wants to do that.
No.
And of course, I mean, no, I still don't want to do that. I don't even dream of doing that. Even after those kids were, talking shit to us, it's not like, hey, I want to beat the crap out of you guys.
I just want you guys to leave me alone.
Yeah, just understand what's going on. Let us just fish our clients.
Yeah, exactly.
And as we're walking out after this little tuffle with these kids in the parking lot, I almost get in, this other guide that, like I said, I will not name, is yelling at us. And he's all pissed off that we're going out to the river. It's like, dude, I don't know what to tell you, man. We're all trying to make a living.
I'm just gonna go catch some salmon.
Yeah,
with these
relax.
Guys. They'll be here tomorrow.
It'll be a couple hours, okay? Right. You can get in there here in a moment. If you were to come up to me nicely and go, hey, is there any way I could get in here for an hour and put my clients on some fish? I'd go, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'm into that.
We can shotgun this.
Yeah, no problem.
Dude, you guys
I'll go find another hole and I'll come back in an hour.
Right.
Sound good? And I'd hope, in an hour, he'd be like, yeah, dude, no worries. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
And I've done that to people, on the Taylor midsummer when it's packed. And, I had one day where we had a big group of people. I mean, we had 25 guides go out or something.
Holy
and,
shit.
Dude, we had a busload show up.
Awful.
A busload of people show up, and they're like, we had to go take them walk wading on a half-day walk. And, most of these people had never fished in their life, and you're trying to figure out where to take them, and everyone's trying to decide where to go. And we ended up making this call to go to the hatchery to try and get these, just fish the hatchery for a little bit.
Right.
And the river came up, and it was muddy and gross. I guess there was a mudslide up in Crested Butte, or whatever they call it, landslide, mudslide, I don't know. But it browned the river up, and oh no,
right.
and these guys, these guys weren't the guys who wanted to sit on a pond all day.
Right, exactly.
You know, you could just tell.
You just lost the river.
Oh, yeah, and it was like, all right, I got to make a move. We hopped in the truck, rode up Taylor, show up to an unnamed place, and jump out. There's a car there. I go, all right, I believe this guy's a guide. We're going to walk in on him. You know, you guys stay behind me. I'm just going to talk to him, see what he says. And super nice guy. I walk up to him, you know, hey, man, I just want to get these guys in here for a couple hours or maybe an hour above you. You know, we only had an hour and a half left or something like that. Plus, you know, I had to get them back to Crescent Butte by noon. And so jump in. Of course, they always on these time schedules. Right, exactly. Hey, I'd love to do a full day trip. I'm going to meet you at 10 o'clock. I could be back at the Butte by 2. Like, that's not a full day float, man. It's barely even a half day, but okay, whatever. You know, and they're like, can you make that happen? I'll try, you know, but
I can paddle my ass off.
Yeah, exactly. So anyways, this guy was awesome. Jump in here, you know, get after it. And, you know, I told him, hey, I owe you one. Thank you so much. You know, anything I can do. If I see you on the river, you know, let's figure it out. And super cool. We got on some fish, got a nice little dry fly hatch, got to catch some fish. And these guys were pumped. And it was like, as we walked out, you know, we caught maybe a half a dozen to a dozen fish. And it was like, all right, let's roll. Right. You know, we told this guy we were just going to catch a couple fish and bail. We rolled and, you know, they were stoked. The guide was cool. I was like, hey, man, we didn't trash him up there. You know, we caught a couple and left. You can go.
We left you some water.
Yeah, we left you some water. We didn't. Yeah, we stayed in one spot. And, I mean, that's the way it should be.
Right.
Because, like I said, we're all trying to make a living.
Well, that's the way it's going to need to be. I mean, you see how many boats you see on the Gunny now. Like, how many people are fishing the Taylor now. Like, dude, I mean, like I said, there's no secrets anymore. Everyone's onto it. Everyone's fishing it. I mean, I can't believe the people I'm running to on in the dead of winter in January on the Taylor. On a Monday.
I was in Gene Taylor's the other day, and that's just our little sporting outlet. I don't know what to call it. You know,
they do it all out there,
Gene
man.
Taylor's has everything you could ask for. Fly fishing, hunting, I mean, archery, ice fish. It doesn't matter. It's just a little sports outlet.
Shout out to Gene Taylor.
Yeah, there you go, Gene's. You're welcome. No, actually, thank you.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I was in there looking at those G3s that I just got, and I mean, this dude walks in and he goes, oh yeah, the east is, you know, ice is all gone. I've been fishing every day after work. And it was, huh? And I'd never seen this guy in my life, and he had some kind of accent. I couldn't tell what it was. It might have been Texas or something, but I really couldn't tell. But, I mean, he knew what he was talking about, and he goes...
You could tell he knew the East.
Oh, yeah, he knew the East really well.
Not that it takes very long to figure out the East.
It's not like you have a lot of water to fish on the East where, you know, it takes a while to figure out. But then he was talking... Oh, yeah, I've been driving up and down Taylor Canyon waiting for it to ice off, and I've been at the CNR, and I've been down to the Gunny, and it's like, what? You know, like, what do you mean, dude? I mean, people are just going... bonkers.
Dude, and not having any snow, so no one wants to ski. No. Everyone just wants to trash fish.
Exactly. And when we were out there the other day, you know, we didn't really have run-ins with people, but people were coming over, you know, the bridge and looking at us and seeing what we were doing and trying to make sure anybody was there so they could come in and fish.
I mean, how many people? I mean, our last trip up to CNR, we probably saw 15 people that day.
We got there was one car.
Right. We were like, nice.
It was like, 11 o'clock when we got there?
Right.
And it was like, whoa, interesting. And then by the time we left, there was probably 12 cars.
Yeah. Yeah, it was ridiculous.
And it's every day.
Right.
Every day.
And it's not just like tourists, it's guides too.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's just dudes from all over the
everybody's got cabin fever, you know. And I mean, it's not like it's been it's not like it's been a terrible winter, but people are just, you know, they want to get outside. They can't ski.
They're just frothing.
And they're just looking for something to do. I mean, you see all walks of life up at the CNR where you're going, really?
Yeah.
Really? You know, I mean, good on them. They're out fishing, but I think the CNR is definitely getting blown up to. I mean, you see it on Instagram.
Right.
See it on Trout's Instagram all the time. You know, you see it all over the place where people are just doing day trips over the CNR.
Well, man, and
you know, who wants to do a 6-hour day trip? No. 6-hour driving day trip?
No.
From the Front Range to come over here and fish.
Yeah, people do it all the time. It's insane.
I don't get it.
I mean, of course we don't get it. I mean, we have access to all kinds of stuff.
If I lived on the Front Range in this day and age, I'd be like, I'm gonna learn how to fish for carp.
Right, dude.
I'll
be
or I'm gonna go bass fishing.
Yeah, I'd take my 9-weight and I'd be going chasing carp.
Oh yeah,
like, I'd be getting my
I'm gonna walk this South Platte all the way from downtown all the way up.
Which, by the way, I do want to do.
We should go check that out.
We should do that.
I think they do. They already did it. I think it's over this. Maybe it's in the spring. Maybe not. The Carp Slam.
Huh.
And yeah, you get an amateur and a pro together.
Okay.
And it's a lot of money for this tournament. It's like
a little pro-am
$1,200.
What?
Dude.
You go catch carp?
What? Yeah, who wants to catch that trash fish for $1,200? I mean, it'd be a cool tournament, but I think it's all throughout Denver. Like Cherry Creek, which now I'm not talking the Reservoir Cherry Creek,
right.
like Cherry Creek, the
right,
creek.
Exactly.
The South Platte. I mean, there's tons of trash water over there that have carp in it.
Right.
I mean there's ponds all along I-70 that have carp.
Right.
They're everywhere.
Yeah, you're catching carp eddied out behind a shopping cart.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that hobo's sitting under there trying to fulfill some Amazon
up my drift.
Exactly.
It's pretty easy to like get off a foul hook on a shopping cart.
On a shopping
though.
cart.
Super rounded.
Just a quick roll cast.
Yeah, you're off it. It's not a stick, you know.
No.
Yeah, I meet this guy, talking shop about fishing, bring up that fishery.
I mean, I brought it up earlier. But...
Well, and the whole thing, he's like, dude, I've heard of people, maybe not catching, but every once in a full moon seeing a northern pike in that area. So like that, I can't explain that fish any other way.
The way it ate and the way it happened. So
like I was still convinced I foul hooked it.
Oh, I mean.
Like,
I saw him eat.
I wasn't sure if he ate or if I hit him in the back.
The
like,
thing
it was
I
such
thought
a
about
crazy,
though,
like lightning.
You know, I mean, I thought about the pike aspect, but why? You know, why didn't it? I mean, I guess if he just had the hook, it wouldn't have taken your line, or wouldn't have bit the line.
Why didn't he take my fly?
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm guessing I actually just got it because dude, it was a weirdly timed strip because I thought it was a carp. I was foul hooking that fish.
Yeah. I mean,
that's what we were trying to do.
Yeah, we're like, let's see if we can get this fish to move.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see what it is.
And that's like when I give him that hard strip. That's when he turned and hammered it.
Oh, dude, he hammered it.
And that's like that's not trout behavior.
No.
And trout do I see fish in slack water like that, but not behaving that way.
Well, let's explain it. So we were
we
out walking, and we'll decide if we want to tell you exactly where it was yet. But we were out walking, and Ryan walks the bank nonstop. We're completely different fishermen in certain ways. I'm more of a, hey, let's get to a spot and let's fish it that I know is fishy kind of guy.
True.
You know, and occasionally I'll walk the bank and look, you know, depending on the situation. But Ryan will walk the bank and just, scour everything, just looking for fish, and he's good at it. He finds them, probably because he does it nonstop. But he's good at finding fish. And we were walking. We had another buddy with us, Crosby, who was with us, and we were walking, and Ryan just stops and he goes, "Oh man, look at this tank." And I remember I was like, "What? Like whatever, dude. I'm gonna keep moving." You know, I mean, it's early in the day, and the place we're at, you really have to. You have to get on a hole and find the fish, or you're gonna have a really tough day. Right. And if you just try and fish everything, it's really hard. So much. And so every time I go there, I'm always like, all right, I'm going to this hole, and I'll fish my way up a little bit, but I'm gonna be here. Right. But you walked the bank and you saw this fish, and so we all cruise over there, you know, real quietly, because a lot of the trout in this fishery are very spooky. Super spooky. I mean, even if they're out in the middle of the river and they feel you walking the bank, you'll watch them move.
You see them blow out.
And for the most part, the water's pretty clear. It's crystal clear almost to an extent. Yeah, sometimes. But, I mean, this fish, it looked like a 2-footer. I mean, it had to have been.
It was absolutely
a 2-footer.
Fish. Maybe more. It was a big fish.
Oh, it was huge. I mean, I was staring at it going, what the? Well, there's no way, dude.
So he's 15 feet from the bank. Yeah. So I'm like trying to point the fish out, and but I don't, fish don't like to be pointed at. So
yeah.
This guy right
and
here.
That's what confused me the most is I walk up and, Crosby walks up and it doesn't spook. Right. It's like, huh? Right. What's going on here? And I mean, we're looking at this thing.
That should have been a spooked fish.
It should have been a spooked fish. Yeah. But, you had a streamer on your 7-weight, and we went, screw it. Put a couple over him. What?
6-weight.
Oh, 6-weight.
Yeah.
put a couple over his head, screw it, let's see what happens, and rip one by him and just see. I mean, see if you can tag him a little bit and just see what happens.
See if we can't move this fish.
Because obviously this fish wasn't going to eat.
Right.
We knew that off the bat that he wasn't going to eat. If I were to take a hopper dropper or a nymph rig, he wasn't going to touch it.
No.
Because if he didn't spook, he knows what he's doing.
Right.
He knows
exactly.
And he's not going to eat something stupid.
Well, and I jigged it by him twice, past his face, twice. Yeah. Not even a flinch.
And you put one right on the money, and you ripped it right by his head, and this thing just, like an eat I've never seen before.
He hammered it.
And like I said, it
was light.
It looked like a pike.
Right.
Right when it happened. It was just head turn, boom.
Right.
He had him on.
Right. Well, and like you said, at this point, we thought it was a carp, or
we weren't
thought
sure.
It was a giant
Crosby's
sucker.
yelling, "Oh, you got a sucker! It's a sucker!"
I've never seen a sucker 2 feet long.
No,
I haven't personally. I'm not saying they don't exist. That'd be a massive.
That's huge.
Sucker.
That is huge.
I'd love to land a 2. I want my upside down grip.
If you would have landed a 2-foot sucker that day, you would have got your upside down grip. And
dude, that would have been. That's a fish of a lifetime.
It takes off.
Right.
And what? Your drag isn't set?
Yeah, so I didn't have my drag set for that fish.
Rookie mistake.
Damn.
Rookie mistake.
What a boner. And that thing just starts.
Oh, it just hauls ass. And I start running downstream. In my head as a guide, I'm going, I need to go. I need to go downstream and try and get an angle on this fish. And I'm yelling at you, Ryan, we need to go, dude. Like, you need to start chasing him downstream. Because I've seen more often than not, when you hook a big fish like that and it starts running downstream, and if you stand in one place, you're screwed.
Right.
I'd rather you move up and down with the fish wherever it goes and try and catch up reeling with it as you move downstream.
When you're saying run, I'm like trying to figure out how to get my drag tightened, but I know if I tighten that drag, I'm going to pop off.
And I'm not looking. I give Crosby my rods. Here, hold my rods. I'm grabbing my net and going to run downstream.
Right.
And,
and that's when I started moving downstream. Like, yeah, you're right. This fish is turning and burning.
And all of a sudden, you just go, oh, and it's gone.
Yeah.
And we're sitting there talking about it going, what the hell was that?
Right.
Because, and for a brown trout to do that, it was definitely not a rainbow trout.
No, it couldn't have been a rainbow.
And the way it rolled right after you hooked it.
And that head shape.
And the head, and the eat. And like I said, that head was huge.
Dude, it was a freaking dinosaur, man.
We'll never know what it was.
We won't.
But and when like you said, it could have possibly been a pike.
When he ate, remember, he ate, set the hook, and he just turned and flashed hard. And we both looked at each other like, that's a trout.
Yeah.
Like, that's not
I was like, dude, that's
not a carp.
No.
That's not a sucker.
I could see the carp more than I could see the pike.
Right.
Because there's carp in Schweitzer. Well, I guess there's pike in Crawford as well. There's pike all around,
I know
really.
There's pike in Crawford.
Huh. And I guess it could have got in somewhere.
Well, like I said, I haven't done any research personally. This is all anecdotal, but the guy said that he has heard from multiple people that there are northern pike there.
Huh.
And then that's when I was like, dude, that has to be what it was. Truth is, I've never fought a pike that big, so I don't know what the fight's like. I just don't know. I have no idea. Are they tuggy? Are they running?
And in the moment, you don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're sitting there looking for trout, and you're not expecting a pike to be sitting there.
Which, like I said, I don't know if it's pike, but it's sure.
We'll never know.
You
blew it.
Fucked it up.
You blew it.
I think. I don't know. If it was a pike, I probably would have lost that fish eventually.
Oh, definitely.
On a 6-weight I think I was on 2X.
And in a river?
Yeah, that's going to be a tough fish to land. If it was a trout...
There's a place you can do that, though, where you can catch pike in the river in Steamboat.
I've done it in Alaska,
Have you? In Steamboat, you can go and apparently you can catch pike in the river.
Can't you do it in Denver proper somewhere on those rivers?
Maybe.
I've heard you can catch walleye in
rivers.
Oh,
definitely. Like Pueblo, right below Pueblo, you can catch bass, walleye, trout. You can catch all of it. We should go check out Pueblo.
We should do it this winter.
Winter's almost over, but yeah, we should do it.
Minus the snow.
It's not, 2.5 hours, that's not far.
No.
If we go,
It's 2.5 hours to Pueblo?
Yeah.
Shit, that's almost what Pleasure Park is.
Yeah.
It's not that much further.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't know.
Huh. Never thought about it that way. I just don't really want to spend time in Pueblo. No offense to my girlfriend who grew up in Pueblo, but
Pueblo is not my favorite. Pueblo is the shitty place I went on my way to Denver when I lived in Albuquerque.
It's an interesting place.
Which Albuquerque's got its own charms.
Exactly. It's an interesting place. What we should do is figure out the San Juan as well. But, I mean, the San Juan, we could go for the weekend to the San Juan.
No, exactly.
But Gray Reef. Yeah. We're planning a trip to Gray Reef. Everybody, most people know about Gray Reef.
I didn't know much about Gray Reef until, I don't know, probably a year or so ago. Someone was telling me about it.
I know a lot of front rangers have been going out there a lot more.
Really?
I mean, I don't know if they actually know about Gray Reef. Maybe I shouldn't say too much. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's good for the business out there because there's not a whole lot going on out there.
Right.
But we are planning that, and we do need to talk about the Gray Reef trip here. I made some calls, figured out a couple things today about Gray Reef.
All right.
And we will work on that here shortly.
Yeah, we'll talk on a later date about that.
Definitely.
But yeah, no, just to wrap it up on that fish. Fuck. Just kind of a heartbreaker. Like, one, just the nature of the way I caught that fish didn't leave me, like, disgusted not landing it,
Oh, you were laughing.
I was cracking up.
I was like pissed. I was pissed. I was like, what the hell?
I was like, what the fuck was that? Because it went from carp to sucker to sticking the fish to that's a trout to, oh my God, that might have been a pike. Like, what the hell was that?
Oh, we went all the way around the spectrum to, whoa, that's the biggest brown I've ever seen.
Right.
Or it's like, we had no idea of what it was, and I don't think a lot of people would have known until you wouldn't know until you get in the net or get it close enough.
I mean, think about it, like, I'm a fairly accomplished fisherman. I'm with two guides. Crosby's our senior by what? Probably 15 years. Guiding.
He's got years on me.
You've been guiding, what, 7, 8 years now?
Yeah.
Like, that's 3 pretty good fishermen that are completely perplexed as to what the fuck that
definitely.
is. And none of us thought it was the same thing.
No, and I think Crosby was just giving you shit where it's like, it's a carp, or it's a sucker, Oh, dude, you just hooked a sucker. You hooked a 24-inch sucker.
Right.
It's like, dude, I don't think that was. I don't know. I don't think that wasn't a sucker.
No.
For one, I have seen suckers eat streamers.
Suckers don't fight like that, though.
No. And I have seen them eat a streamer.
Really?
Which is strange.
Never seen
And the only person I saw it with was Robbie Cushman. And I was like, only you could do that. Is catch a sucker on a streamer. Only you could do that, Robbie.
Oh, dude, you see that? You see that sucker?
He ate a streamer.
Dude.
He was bugging, but I get it. Yeah, it's weird, but the way that fish ate, there's no way. That was not a sucker.
That fish,
no.
That fish had to have been pushing 12
that
pounds.
was at least a 6-inch streamer, too. That thing.
Yeah, it was a massive articulated
Sucker's not going to be able to hook that.
No.
No way.
But then again, I don't know how a 2-foot suckerfish behaves.
Maybe he's got the mouth the size of a volleyball. We don't know.
Yeah, maybe when they get to 2 feet, they grow teeth.
Maybe, we don't know. We have no idea.
Just the way that fish turned and ate.
It was a cool eat, and it was a cool story.
When I stuck that fish and he flashed sideways, that fish was probably a foot top to bottom.
It was huge.
He was thick, man.
It was huge.
Like, we just looked at each other when he started running. I'm like, that's not a sucker fish.
No.
And then the way he fought, the head shakes, the rubbing off the bottom.
Carp too.
See, I've never.
But if you research carp flies and like how you fish for carp, everything's small.
Well, it's like
even small little streamers and stuff like that.
Well, carp are a lot like bonefish.
Yeah.
They feed the same way.
They're bottom feeders.
Yeah, they root.
That fish was not a bottom feeder.
No.
That fish had eyes on the side of his head where it was looking for something to eat.
Exactly.
It was looking to attack something.
Is what I saw. Yeah, he hammered that thing.
But the spooky part was weird. I don't know why he didn't spook. But
I have no idea.
No idea. But anyways, it was cool.
Yeah, it was really cool.
It was pretty badass to see.
We won't see that again.
Never.
Ever.
Well, yeah. We probably won't ever see something like that.
You fish enough, you run into some pretty crazy shit on the river, but that was in my... that probably is the number one weirdest...
That was pretty weird.
Fishy story I got. It's just strange.
That was strange.
We'll never know.
Nope.
Bummer.
Well, hell, we got to wrap it up here. But it was fun talking.
Yeah, man.
Shooting the shit.
Yeah.
And
always.
Yeah. We'll have you on again. Definitely.
Love to come back.
Hell yeah.
And bullshit with you.
I'm into it. Thanks, guys.